with me. They refuse a debate with Alex from Playing with Fire. They basically refuse debates with anybody that they disagree with. Same exact thing with Rollo Tomasi. That's why, even though I have a lot of problems with Donovan Sharpe and his rhetoric, I gained a lot of respect for him. At the very least, he's willing to actually stand for the ideas that he has.
Me too.
You know what I mean?
Me too.
So just having that, like that helps to actually improve the manosphere in dating. Because if you're really confident in what you believe in, and you really think that's the truth, and you're willing to compare it to other people's ideas, and you're willing to actually change your mind, that's actually what's required. That's what it means to be a man. To be a man is to stand for the things that you believe in. If you're afraid, it's basically like, look, it's equivalent to like, all right, it's equivalent to the king who leads an army into battle, and he's at the vanguard, he's at the front leading his soldiers, and the other guy and the other king that's just like stands in the back and be like, all right, go get him, boys. Like, I'm just going to stand back here. I don't want to go die. Like, do you actually stand for something, you know? Like, why would you follow guys who are afraid of conflict? And Fresh and Fit and those guys, they only want to have conflict with people that they think that they can easily beat, AKA, you know, girls who are in their early 20s who only care about Instagram or whatnot, right? And then they debate them about, like, you know, complex issues of like dating dynamics where they've never even read a book on it. And then they just end up spouting inexperienced. Exactly. Yeah. And then they're just like, oh, Myron destroyed her. He's a great debater. It's like, nah, man, you're basically debating, you know, you're debating children almost, right? If you're like,
I was gonna say that, like, because they're what, fresh out of college, well, not even out of college, you're still in school, barely learning shit, right? Because they don't teach you shit in school, and you're gonna come in there and try to beat them over with facts that they haven't seen before, right? And plus, on top of that, they're drunk or whatever it is they got going on in the show. So it's like they're already coming in a position where it's disadvantaged. Nah, debate somebody that can stand on their shit and hold you to the fire. And the thing is, just because someone disagrees with you or offers another opinion doesn't mean that it's over for y'all. It doesn't mean that you're wrong. I don't know why you guys are so much against talking to other people or even letting other women on who have different opinions and can think that. Or even when you do accidentally, I would say, let them on, and stop shouting them down or kicking them out. Why would you want to kick out a freaking guest that you invited? Right, even on this show, I don't like to mute people. Oh my god, it just reminded me of the last show I did with Steve the Deed. I had to mute that guy, the JP guy, because the guy was just sitting there like coming in. Oh, your game's weak. All right, explain to us why it's weak. Because you can't say using the girl like a dildo. Oh, this and that. It's like, all right, bro, that's fine, that's cool, but you can't talk over someone who's talking. All right, you let him. We just sat there and let you spit your little game, right? As great as it was, right? We let you spit it. Let him talk. No. So it's like I have to mute you, which is crazy, bro. Like, that doesn't make any sense. But like, typically, I don't like to do any of that. We have girls on the show. Matter of fact, some of the girls that they had on their show, we've had on the show, and we've talked to them and we've had a conversation with them. And what I've understood, and people who actually were on those live streams, they also noticed that those girls were a lot more honest. They were a lot more honest, and you understand that they admitted a lot of things that these guys want to go ahead and talk about. Because I don't disagree with the red pill. That's what people don't understand. I don't disagree with most of it, right? Some of the ideologies, they make a lot of sense. It's just how it's twisted up that I don't agree with. But a lot of they admitted that right on air. So it just goes to show you got to treat some of these people with respect. And there's a whole lot of disrespect going on that show. And what a lot of guys are getting from that is, for me to be alpha, right? For me to be alpha, I got to go in and just diss and disrespect these guys. They're teaching y'all how to be virgins. That's what it is. Because y'all not gonna get pussy doing that. I'm gonna guarantee you that. The dudes that really get bitches, the dudes that really get pussy are the ones that you guys will call simps. Hands down.
Yep. That's spot on. I actually encourage guys who religiously follow Fresh and Fit, especially, to be like, to look at their own dating life, be like, are you actually dating the girls that you like want to date? Like, are you happy with your dating life? Really ask yourself that. And don't like cope and be like, yeah, I'm totally, like, be 100% honest with yourself, right? Because there's no fucking way. If you have, look, one of the most fundamental things when it comes to game, when having game, is to be able to pass shit tests, right? Basically, a shit test is where a woman will test your strength by you know, giving you some shit and seeing how you react, right? And so when you react emotionally, you're showing, oh, this guy's not confident in himself. This guy's a beta male, so I'm not interested in anyone anymore. Myron fails the shit test every single fucking time on his show. As soon as a girl actually gives him any kind of flack, He's like, oh, yeah. Like, you know, dude, that's how we know that it's like game recognized game, right? That's why
it doesn't make any sense.
You, Alex, with Playing with Fire, like we all look at that and we're just like, there's no way this dude gets laid. There's no way this dude has that much game.
I looked at it and I said the same thing when I was watching. I'm like, all right, because when the first whole, I wouldn't say the first, because that's when I kind of happened. It just came across the channel and I was looking at all this little kick. I'm like, okay, let me see what this is all about. And I was looking at it, and some of the ladies, I'd admit they were a lot. they were to a handful, which is like, damn, where did you find these ladies, man? So I get it. But then when it almost started to notice, it became like a routine. It's like the emotion, the anger behind it. It's just like, wait a minute, man. Like something ain't right. Like I deal with women all the time, but I'm not. You don't see me just like you got to get out of here. Get out. Turn on the camera. Get out of here. It's like I don't get. Then why bring them over? And then to come to find out that's your crib, bro. That's your fucking crib, bro. Like, oh my god, do you know what these women can do to you? I tell the story all the time, bro. I had a crazy broad come over to my crib, and it was since then I started putting cameras up. But like she started wilding out, like just because I wouldn't. I would have sex with her because alcohol was involved. But when we got back to my place, she just randomly started crying. And I'm just like, what the fuck is wrong with you, bro? Like, no, I'm not fucking. You can have her. Go to bed. And she lost it. Shit got thrown. I had to lock myself in my own goddamn balcony. I'm just like, hey, somebody come get this bitch. Like, please. But since I don't fuck with that. So you mean to tell me you invite the most craziest of chicks, the wildest of broads, right, to your place, to your home, and like not expect this whole shit to unfold? Like not expect the one, like come on, like I didn't even, I was like just shocked at the immense kind of just like it's still shocking just to think about it. Like bruh, these girls can ruin you, man. Like why would you do that?
It's totally irresponsible on their end. And again, I just try to look at it from just the game standpoint of this specific thing of like, look, that's game 101 is to like, imagine if you're out at a bar and, you know, you hit on some girl and then you're just talking to her a bit and then she says, oh, I have a boyfriend, by the way. You know, sometimes they just do that to fuck with you. Like you want to delve in deeper. You want to keep them at their word. If they're saying, hey, you have a boyfriend, fuck off. You're like, okay, see ya. But imagine if they just say have a boyfriend and then you're just like, oh, so you're telling me I wasted my time. You know what? I have something called a penis, and a penis that needs to be sucked and needs to be fondled, and I am sick and tired of doing it on my own. I want somebody to help me with it, and I thought you were the one to do it, and now you're not. So now I'm angry and pissed. Like, imagine if you actually act that way, right, at a bar. Not even necessarily saying those words, obviously, but actually the intention behind those words. Yep. Right? Obviously, we all know it's like, dude, that dude's not getting laid that night, right? He just totally failed that shit test completely. And yet we see Myron do that same exact thing with girls that even give him even the slightest amount of slack on his show. He even says that one TikTok video that he had of basically saying, oh, well, if a woman comes back to your place and doesn't want to have sex with you, here's what you do. You make sure that you call a girl right in front of her and invite her over instead. How many times do you think Myron did that? He probably has never done that. He's just never like, well, done it. Based on the theory, this makes sense.
It just sounds good. It just sounds, I'm like, yo, bro, you'd be lucky. Man, because like girls, they can't handle that. I'm gonna tell you, most girls, they can't. You be lucky if you like some shit doesn't go down if you do some dumb shit like that, man. Like some girls, like that's what I'm saying. Emotion, like if it's not controlled, can be dangerous because you don't. For all she knows, she might wild out and stab you. You don't know. You don't fucking know. So why would you do something like that? Kindly let her down. You can text her. Here's the thing. It's not like I disagree with that, but doing a phone call in front of her, that's vindictive. That's very vindictive. That's essentially what it is. Just if you were really about it, you should have been already texting your girl that you're gonna the backup already. Saying, hey, what you doing? Like, hey, what you doing? Like, you gonna slide through? Oh, I bet. And then when you're done, you know, have your time, do what you got to do with the lady here, and then get on the merry way. Say, hey, look, I got work in the morning, something like that. Whatever it is, right? And then here's the crazy thing: just because she doesn't want to fuck you that night doesn't mean she doesn't want to fuck you. But now you're doing that, you just fucked the pussy up for you. So when I heard that, I'm just like, what? Like, I don't, like, why would you want to fuck up the pussy? All right, bro. If you want to go ahead and call him and kick her out, go ahead. That's your case. But don't expect her to go ahead and find that, see you attracted. And on top of that, not just her, all the girls that she knows ain't gonna fuck with you either because they talk. And that's how this fucking world is. So you listen to game like that, guess what? You're gonna fail, guaranteed, because it doesn't work. And I can guarantee it doesn't work because it hasn't been tested by the people who are showing you that it's supposed to work.
Yeah. It's just literally showing like, look, we just know logically that shit doesn't work, right? But also, what's the goal at that point? Because you're right, there's an actual way to do that. You could just go to another room, like make sure that she's not hearing it, and then because in the video he says make sure she hears it, right? You can go to another room, call up some other girl, and then politely come back and ask her to leave, right? She doesn't need to know anything about it, especially if you want to see her at another time. Be like, hey, I got work in the morning, whatever. Just a little white lie, being like, hey, I need you to get out of here, right? Though the reason that he's saying, and especially preaching to his audience, because he knows what his audience wants. His audience wants rage bait. He wants to feed into that beta male red pill rage, right? So he's saying like, you know what? No, you're gonna call her right in front of her, and you're gonna embarrass her. She wronged you. You're gonna punish her because it's your right as a man to have sex. So she's denying you the sex. You punish her. You're gonna call a girl right in front of her. And then, because dude, that's more the thing is more so, okay, the goal there is for you to feel better about yourself, for you to
and make her feel bad.
Make her feel bad rather than actually getting the result of getting laid. That's more the issue. And that's the problem with the manosphere and all this like rage bait, like red pill rage type shit. It's more so about how do I make myself feel better by being angry at women rather than actually trying to figure this shit out. And this is what it means to be white pilled or black pilled, because, guys who are black pilled, people think it's only like the guys that only think looks that matter. No, black pilled are guys who are nihilistic, apathetic, or hopeless about their dating lives based off red pill truths. So when you see something like what Myron does there, is that more congruent with the black pill or is it more congruent with the white pill? Basically saying, oh, well, everything's
a lot of the shit that they talk about, it sounds almost black pillars, man. It sounds almost like it's very nihilistic. Obviously, they're trying to teach you to get the pussy, but even then, it's wrong, man. It's wrong. I guarantee you, man. You ask some of these guys what their approach game is, and they can't tell you shit. I guarantee you, a lot of these guys can't walk you step by step to how to go ahead and do it. You know what? One other thing I notice these guys don't talk about. They always talk about all the money and status and stuff like that. They don't even talk about how to build yourself, right? And by building yourself, okay, how to go in the mirror and practice your speech, how to go in the mirror and practice your stance, and be confident with your shoulders rolled back. How to even practice your walk, right? Because you got to understand, when you're going out in public, perception is everything. People don't really notice that when you're approaching a girl, she's also judging by the way you're walking to her, right? And your walking shows a lot. People don't realize that they're already judging you before you even make your approach. A lot of women already know you're in the room before you even know you're in the fucking room, idiots. Like, you guys don't get this, man. That's what I'm saying. Like, as someone who's been around a lot of women, and I even grew up with women. I grew up with my mom and all that stuff like that too. So I saw these behaviors. You're like, yeah, these girls, they're a lot more social aware than most dudes, and they don't even get it. So down to the way you walk, how you move, how you talk, your voice, your tonality, right? Your mannerisms, they all come to play, because all this, when you're animated, when you talk, even how you seduce a girl with your eyes while you're talking to her, from her lips to your eyes to your lips to her nose, all these different things, how you look at her. I don't see any of that being taught. It's all these different things. So I'm sitting there like, okay, I get it, but it's all surface level, and you got niggas paying $1,000 for that? Oh, hell no. Like, literally, man, what the fuck are we doing? They're only teaching them half the battle. So now these guys don't even know they're going out there without the social cues or the social skills to look out for, because you all don't realize this. A lot of the conversation you have isn't verbal. It's physical. People are reading body language subconsciously, and y'all don't even know that. See, that's the thing. That's why I'm looking at this stuff. I'm just like, yo, you guys are all focused on the words. That's why when some guys, they come up to me, they're like, oh, like, I don't know what she's saying. I said this, and I said this. Like, no, man. Because girls don't listen to what you say. It's how you say it. How you say it, the tone behind how you say it. If you're calm, you're smooth, you're slick, or you're the way you move your body, the way you groove, your swag. I know dudes who are 5'7" who can do that. So why aren't they teaching you how to practice this stuff?
Totally agreed. Yeah. So actually, the guy, because you're gonna have Alex playing with fire on soon. He breaks it down really well. I like the way he breaks it down. Of like, look, you have your SMV, your sexual market value side of things, like status, money, height, looks, all those other types of things, and then you also have game, right? So the issue is with Fresh and Fit is they only focus on the SMV side because they worship the rational male as like their Bible of male self-improvement, right? But you can have all of those things and then also have piss poor game. So, like I'm a coach. I work for I'm not the dating coach in my program. Coach Whitehill is, but I work with all the guys, and we have.
I've actually seen him around. Coach Whitehill, if you're here, man, I want you in the chat too. Yeah, I don't know if he's in the chat. If you're here though, I want to talk to you too. I don't think I've talked to you. But yeah, I'd love to talk to you, man.
So really quick, like, we have guys who make a lot of money, are high status, and look good, and just freaking suck with women, right? Because they have the SMV side, sure, but the game side is just completely non-existent. They have no swag, like none of the stuff. They don't know how to talk, all these other types of things, right? So Fresh and Fit, even just based on their advice, like they're only teaching you one side of the equation, and they're not teaching you the other side. And I'm going to go so far as to say this, man. Even if your SMB is objectively not that great, like you don't make a lot of money, you don't have a bunch of status, whatever, if your game is really, really tight, you can still end up getting laid all the time compared to a guy that has like the top tier SMB but no game. So if you had to choose one in terms of actually, getting girls, it's that. That's why I think it's actually the biggest cope of all time to be like, you know what? You need to make 6 figures. You need to do all these other types of things in order to get girls. I'm like, man, what are you talking about? You don't need it. Like, it's such a giant cope to be like, well, I fail with women. And the reason I fail with women is I'm not rich enough. So I'm just going to bury myself in work, and then eventually I will. And then these guys get to that point, and then they're just like, well, shit, I still suck with girls.
It's what I was just going to say that, man. I got friends in my circles right now that make more than 6 figures, and they don't know shit about getting girls. They don't know anything because, it's not, I won't even say it is their fault because they should have been practicing these skills in the first place instead of trying to like avoid women. Not saying these guys were, because they just never really paid attention to this stuff. But a lot of these guys who actually make money, they're about their business. That's what a lot don't understand. It's like it's so consuming that like you barely have time for shit. So when they get to that point where it's like time to have fun and time to do this stuff like that, they freeze up, man. They don't know how to do that. They don't know how to approach a girl. When they do, it's sloppy. It's incoherent. It doesn't make any sense. It seems almost manufactured, and the girls can smell and sense the undertone of what these guys trying to go at. So that's what I'm saying. You have to practice these skills while you're on your way to do it, because we talk about self-improvement all the time. These guys like to focus on just the money, the building your 6-figure business and things like that. And I got something to say about that in a minute. But it's like all this different stuff is like, nah, man. It doesn't have to be about all the money and stuff like that. Because here's the thing. Part of self-development is also women. That's it. Like, as a man, part of self-development is women. I don't know if you noticed. So all you MGTOWs and black pills and all these other crazy nonsense pills out there, y'all gotta understand, avoiding women, you're missing out on half the self-development that you're supposed to be working on. Because that's the most important piece. Your genetic line. You're being able to continue yourself. And I tell this, the ultimate goal for most people, and the most wealthiest families and the richest people on this planet, they understand this, right? They understand the importance of building a legacy, of building family, all right? So you can see them and call these guys simps and whatever it is. But a lot of y'all males, like Kevin Samuel says, some of these females are going to die alone. A lot of y'all going to die alone. And a lot of y'all going to die alone emotionally because y'all don't get this stuff. So it's not just women. Y'all will die alone. And that's not what you want. Because once you die, who is going to remember you? Who's going to know that you were here? Who's going to know and say, no, my daddy did this. My mama did this. They built this for me. They worked hard and they did this. No one will. Because when you die, your whole line dies with you. Success, true success, not only comes from building yourself up as a person, but also comes in understanding the other nature of women and dealing with them in an effective way. Yeah, it's not going to happen to all of us. You're going to get cheated on. You're going to have, if it happens to Will Smith, it can happen to anybody. You ain't special. But the joy comes from understanding and accepting that this shit happens. It happened to me. It's going to happen to everybody if you deal with women. But accepting that this happens makes it all the better, and it brings peace. CJOJ, thank you for the $5 super chat. F&F deal in transaction relationships, so they'll always get gold diggers, clout chasers, or emotionally damaged women. They don't know real women. That's facts. Because those are the kind of women, I'm going to leave that up there. You want to comment on it. Because those are the kind of women that are easy to get. You got to understand that. They're the easiest one to get, but they come with the most difficult problems. I'm going to tell you that right now, because it's a low-hanging fruit, right? The OnlyFans chick, like even some of these simp guys that do it, most of the reason why they do it is because they're paying for conversations with a lot of these girls most of the time, and they know they're not going to shut you down or ghost you because they're taking your fucking money. So that's why a lot of these guys go for OnlyFans, right? Because instead of going in and talking to a girl off of Instagram or Tinder or all these dating apps or whatever the fuck, right? And having her ghost you and whatnot, it's easier to pay for it, so you don't have to deal with that rejection. That's what a lot of you guys do. So these OnlyFans and gold diggers, they're easy, but they come with the hardest of problems. But a lot of you guys go for the low hanging fruit.
Yeah, I mean look, if you lead with money, because look at what Fresh and Fit talks about, right? So if you are always about like, hey, you got to show off your Lambo and you got to show off, you know, how many Instagram followers and stuff that you have, you attract the thing that you lead in with. It's almost like if you're at a park, right, and you have a bunch of seeds in your hand, and you see a bunch of these like annoying birds and pigeons come over towards you and start bothering you. And you're just like, oh, what is with all these pigeons nowadays? They're always just bothering me. Dude, you're the ones holding the seeds. You're the ones inviting them over to come bother you. So if you're leading with money and then you end up having gold diggers come to you, you're asking for that to happen. And this is one of the issues too of like with the entire Rolo pill of truly internalizing it. You cannot help but start to resent women because, you know, if you truly think deep down that what women care most about is money, status, all these other types of things, right? Like, and then you start to live a lifestyle like that, you're going to start to look down on them being like, okay, well, this is all you care about. Like if I met somebody who all they cared about was status, money, nice cars, Instagram followings, I wouldn't want to fuck with that person. Are you serious?
Why?
That sounds like a terrible person.
Why would you want to deal with that?
Well, it's funny because those are the things they lead with, right? So the only women that they end up attracting are those types of women. And those are the only women that they end up knowing. So then they think, oh, well, all women are like this. No, you only invite the gold digging, you know, like honestly, like the ones that shitty women. Like, yeah, you're only inviting them, and then you're saying, "Oh, well, all women are like this." It's like, no, only the girls that you attract because of the way you carry yourself are like this, right? Birds of a feather flock together. If you're a shitty person, if you're a shitty low value person, you're probably going to attract other shitty low value people into your life, and the high value people aren't actually going to fuck with you. And then they end up saying, "Oh, okay, well, because I only attract you know, low quality women are attracted to me, therefore all women are low quality and all are like this." Like, no, only the ones that like you are like that, bro.
It's crazy. You mentioned a good point because realistically, guys who go in there with that kind of mentality, you ruin the future box if you like of a quality woman once you finally run into her because you're so wrapped up in this mentality that you can't judge a good one from a real one from a fake one. That's the thing. And another thing to add to that, a lot of these guys, and one thing I'm thinking about, I'm like, why are they focus on this low hanging fruit so much, right? And I'm like, I never understood that. It's like, y'all got to understand that, first of all, let me even get to this point, right? Because there are a lot of guys, you got to understand this, man. When you all get wrapped up in this is why this is so dangerous. You guys get wrapped up in this ideology so much, right? When you listen to girls who are talking about, oh, you know, not all girls are like this, you guys got to stop talking about that. You automatically shout them down, and you're automatically coming from this position of a vision, like Kevin said, of you either coming from a position of disrespect or you look down on them like they're nothing. So then when it bleeds through in your mannerisms. You don't understand what you think up in here bleeds through what you feel in here. That's all connected. So when you're going in and you're dealing with a woman can already smell that. So maybe you ran into that. Maybe let's say you were a Fresh and Fit watcher, right? And you decided to go up with one of those weird ass approach games. You already had that preconceived notion. And then you approach a girl and let's say she curves you and you don't know why she did that. That could have been the fact that she sensed that, hey, this guy, there's some incongruencies here. You don't know that, man. The girls sense things on a more emotional level than we do. A lot of us are not social aware. So some of you guys, what we're trying to do here is help you guys decipher the real ones from the fake ones because y'all are paying attention to the fake ones, and that's all you're going to get. And you can't extrapolate that to saying that that's all women because you know what that sounds like? You know how when girls talk about all men are dogs and all men ain't shit and all of that, what the fuck does that remind you of? You motherfuckers, that's what it reminds you of. You look in the goddamn mirror. Y'all might as well go marry feminists. I mean, that's pretty much what it is. Y'all be great together because the ideology is so the same. Y'all playing the victim Olympics. Everybody's been hurt. Everybody, girl and boy, we've all been hurt. But it's how you pick yourself up and move on. That's all that fucking matters. Are you a winner or not?
Dude, that is the white. You asked what the white pill is? Hold on. You asked what the white pill is, dude? Exactly what you just said there. That is the white pill. It's that mentality. Of regardless of whatever happens to you, you operate through hope and faith that you're going to do something. You can do something about it. So a perfect example, if you know Jocko Willink, he wrote the book Extreme Ownership. Okay, so if you want to know what the true, if you want to know what a true white pill mentality is, he doesn't call himself a white pill, obviously. It's that. Like, extreme ownership is probably like the white pill Bible, I'd say, because it's like, look, man, the kind of the fundamental thing that you learn from that book is, look, regardless of whether it's your fault or not, act as if it is your fault. And always point the finger to yourself because that's the only way that you can actually change shit. Do the red pill guys, do the Rolo pill guys and the Fresh and Fit guys, do they do that? No. They never point the finger to themselves. They're always pointing the fingers at somebody else, especially like women nowadays, and the feminists and the feminine imperative, right? Okay, some of those things might be true, but instead of just sitting there bitching and complaining, why don't you point the finger to yourself and be like, hey, what can I do about it, right? Is there something that I can change about this if this is something that really matters to me? Or am I just sitting here in the comment section on YouTube because I have nothing else better to do and I'm just going to sit here, bitch, and complain? Are you actually going to do something about it? That's what the white pill is compared to the black pill. The black pill is basically saying, hey, I'm not going to do anything. I'm just going to sit here in YouTube comments and complain and bitch and whine. And you're right, the MGTOW guys, the vast majority of Fresh and Fit guys, they actually are black pill without even realizing it. And white pill guys are actually taking the things that they learn and putting it into action, even if it sucks, even if it's tough at first, right? If you've never approached a girl before, you have approach anxiety, right? But you still get over it. You still do it. That's one of the most white pill things you could possibly do. If you understand that your dating life freaking sucks right now, but instead of pointing the finger, you're like, hey, maybe I'm the problem. Maybe there's something I can fix about myself. And then you start to do that. That is a white pill mentality. That's what it's all about.
Facts. I didn't even, what you said was very important. And by the way, I got Apple products, man. And for some reason, StreamYard, I have to use like Safari, and sometimes it kicked me out. So if it does kick me out while I'm talking, you're talking, feel free to keep going on the white pill, man, and go from there. I gotta figure something out with this. But you're absolutely right, man. It's one of those things where you guys have to do something about it. I didn't learn this lesson until I was doing door-to-door sales, right? And any of you guys in the chat, if you ever done door-to-door sales before, you know how brutal that shit can be, right? Getting the door slammed in your face, getting people asking you what the hell are you doing, and their attitudes and whatnot, right? After the first door, you get that door slammed in your face, right? You're feeling pretty down about yourself. You're feeling like shit, right? It takes all that effort to go to the second door, knock on, go through the same spiel, so forth and so forth, right? And you can go damn near 10, 15 doors, get the same nose, but you get that one door that person was willing to hear you out, right? And that makes all the other doors, all the other no's worth it, right? And why is that? A, because you persevered. A, because you kept trying, and you ran to someone that made it all the better. And guess what? Throughout that whole thing, you're building those strong skills, those strong conversational skills. Now, if I was someone who went through it, I sold knives, by the way. It was door to door. You go in and you show them a little demonstration with the knives and whatnot. But it's one of those things. Cutco, Vector Cutco. Yeah, those motherfuckers. They had a lawsuit I was a part of too. Got like $50 off that whole share. It was weird. But yeah, you go door to door, you're selling knives and doing all that, but it builds a tough skin. It built character. Someone so to the point where I can literally just go to a door and say some crazy shit to the person and have them just kind of like freeze up and say, okay, what is this dude all about? What you got my interest? What the fuck are you selling? You know what I'm saying? And you start looking at different tips and tricks, but I wouldn't have known any of that. I wouldn't have known how to subtly trigger people based on the things that I've said to get them keep the interest if I hadn't kept going and trying new things. And that's what a lot of you guys don't freaking understand. It's the same thing with dealing with women. You walk up to the first one. She says no. Right? Okay, fine. Then you go back to the film room. Like I said, you go back, you think, okay, what did I say? What happened? What did I do that could have made this a little bit more smooth? Then you go back again, you try it again. You go A, B, okay, B worked with this girl. Let me try B again. Okay, B got you a little further, but you got the step C and you bombed. You go back to the film room and you try again until you get to the point where you can go through A, B, C, and D, and E, and then eventually get to the point where you ask her to close. And guess what? Once that process has been done, you repeat the same process and you go to the point where people call you a natural. Holy shit, this guy knows how to sell. Holy shit, this guy knows how to talk to people. But you knew what the work that took to get into it. You knew how hard you had to work to get at it. It's the exact same thing. You guys have to keep trying. You got to go out there and do it. All right? Stop trying to sit there and you're feeling and coddle and shit like that if you haven't tried. That's how I can tell when people sit there and whine and stuff like that and cry like, oh, yeah, like it's you're someone who doesn't try. We're raising a generation of men who don't try and quit at the first go, and that's what I want to stop. Realistic, if you want to go to the root of the problem, I don't even shit about these different pills and spaces and whatnot. It's you picking yourself up and trying after you failed. Who the fuck are you? Are you a survivor or are you not? Fucking what's his name? Ed, is it Ed Thomas or Eric Thomas? I think it was Eric Thomas. And Eric Thomas, right? He's talking about I remember he had the story between the lion and the gazelle, right? And a lot of people out here, you know, they pretend to be a fucking lion, but they're really fucking gazelles. And when he said that thing, and I'm paraphrasing, but when he said that, it made a lot of sense. Because a lot of you niggas out here fronting like you're lions, but you're goddamn gazelles. You goddamn gazelles. Know how I know? Because most of y'all get eaten up by these Onlyfans chicks, right? These chicks that really trick y'all. Them the real lions out there. Them the real predators. And you know what? I'm sure they'll love guys like Fresh and Fit because they're pumping out new fucking income every single minute.